All right, Coach, let's talk about your football team and what you were able to do in this game. You get a touchdown on a 4th and goal at the 2. Yep. You got a 7-0 lead, but Philadelphia starts to respond, and a big 3rd down defense comes on the first defensive possession.
Yeah, so one thing about Philadelphia is an explosive team. They can score at any point throughout the game, but especially early in the game, they're very good in their opening drives. We went down there to Philadelphia the first time. We gave up 7 points in the opening drive. It was emphasis for this time to start a little bit faster and stronger for our defense. They made some plays, but it came down to a 3rd down right here for our defense to be able to get off the field. So we're in a 3rd and 3. So the things you got to really be alert for defensively are some kind of direct run right here with the runner just getting vertically into the defense. All right, they can get 2 quick yards, or some kind of quick passing game. Now, you talk about man versus zone defense, and typically on 3rd and short, most teams are going to play man defense. Reason being is you've got to get guys on guys tight and short space. You can't sit back and have time to break. And by the time you're making that break and breaking up, 2 yards is probably going to be made already for the first down. So we're in a man defense call right here. We've got the post high safety right here. He's really playing 53 1/3 yards over top right there. And then underneath, we're playing just press man. So we're up in their face the entire way and really working our leverage right there to where our help is. Now, in this particular call right here, we're going to start with the outside and where it goes. All right. You're going to see the ball turn over, and you see right here, it's a bunch of short routes right there from Philly. We call these sticks routes, meaning they're getting right to the sticks right there where the first down is. So it's a sticks route team on 3rd and short, and they've got to do something, some kind of a double move to get open, some kind of a mesh and a pick scheme right there to free themselves up. Now, really, if you look across the board right here, the defense does a pretty good job of getting Velcroed and all their guys across the board. The only chance for them to really make the first down right here is up top right here, where they're getting a little bit of that rub route right there. So they're going, we call it 1 under 2 right there. I mean, the outside guy, number 1, comes underneath the number 2, and that just creates enough friction right there with number 2 being glued on by his defensive player that now Bradbury's got to track over the top right there and then break that pass up as it's getting ready to be caught right there, those sticks for the first down. Now, just watching technique-wise, Brad does a really good job right here of having presence of mind, of knowing pre-snap. You got 2 close receivers right here in a short yardage situation. It's probably going to be some kind of movement right there to free up one of these receivers. So knowing that someone's got to move, you can see the slightly different levels right there with him and Darnay, okay, to make sure not run into each other on the horizontal movement. And then right here, as Darnay's moving with his man, and remember, it's man defense, eyes are on my man, James sees his guy slip underneath and does a good job bubbling right over the top, but then knowing when he bubbles, he's got to start breaking right away because the ball's coming out. Now, before we get to the pass breakup right there, we're going to go to the inside with the front right here again. And again, it's all about affecting this quarterback and getting them off the spot. And that's that area 6 to 8 yards behind that center where they want to sit comfortably and be able to step in aggressively and throw a good strike right there. And it's going to be Jabal coming around right here off a little bit of pass rush game, and he's going to flush into the middle right here off of the pick action inside. And it's going to be just enough blue color right here to make Wentz not step into the throw, and that can sail a little bit off target, a little bit high, all right, and ultimately, ideally on passes like this in tight quarters, tight coverage, where you really want the ball delivered is somewhere lower on the body. The safest place is really put it around that belt buckle where it's hard for the defender to get all the way around and knock it off. That's exactly right. If it's up there around eye level or higher, it's easier for the defender to have position, get that high arm up on it right there, and break it up. So it starts up front like it always does with some pressure by Jabal, and you can see right here with Wentz that as he throws the ball here, instead of stepping into the ball, he's fading off the ball, and that's going to help that ball just be slightly inaccurate right there. Sail a little bit higher right here. James in a great position. He locates the ball with his eyes right there, playing through his man, and then there's a great shot right there of getting the pass breakup in tight quarters without getting the cheap penalty right there and give him a free first down. So, again, it's knowing the situation by the alignment, what the receivers are trying to do, what kind of team this is, a sticks team on 3rd down, anticipating some kind of rub route, playing over top, good rush, off the spot, good pass breakup, off the field.
And then excellent technique by Bradbury, which held Philadelphia to a field goal, which, especially going in that direction, it wasn't easy on Sunday at MetLife Stadium. So Philadelphia gets the ball to start the third, Coach, and they hit you for a big play. So now game on here, and then you go back downfield with big plays of your own. 1st and goal at the 10. Now it's 3rd and goal at the 1, and the power game comes into play.
Yeah, so we're down here against playing Philly. You know, points are important. 3rd or 4th down, we had to come away with 7 points. I mean, obviously, they came out of halftime. They're ready to go. They made their adjustments. They scored fast. We had to respond. The offense did a great job of getting down the field, getting us position. But now it's all about finishing the drive and punching that thing in, which is something we had to do. We like field goals. We love touchdowns. So we'll take love over like every day. All right, now, in this situation here, I want to watch from the side. All right, we're talking about goal line offense and defense right there. And you watch that goal line. it's all about penetration down here. It's all about who can beat who across the line of scrimmage and reestablish the line of scrimmage based on how successful that play is going to be. We're going to run a direct run right here with a lead from the fullback. Wayne's going to get this thing vertically here, and we're just asking our offensive line here to create some double teams on the down players before we work to scrape off and get the linebackers. Are going to press down, all right, to try and go ahead and give secondary support. But we've got to move this line, and we have to establish where the new line of scrimmage is. It's probably one of my favorite plays of the season so far, and the reason is when the play is over, you got every single guy in a blue jersey in the end zone. That's really what you want right there. So you talk about physical toughness, running the ball, scoring when you have to score against a top-tier defensive line. We got to make sure we're able to do this right here. This is something we emphasize in practice all the time, and this is really what it comes down to. Talk about football is a game of inches. This is really a picture of the game right here. So we'll see on the back end some of the blocking technique, but really just seeing right here just the movement and the finish, and that's really what we want to see right there. Play's over. You got everybody in blue in the end zone together, celebrating a touchdown. You can really see our guys driving their feet through contact and just talking about finishing the play and finishing with good toughness. All right, moving off. You can see right there, there's initial contact. Now who wins after the initial contact right here. All right, and our guys do a good job driving their feet, getting some push in, and just finishing the play right there. So we can go to the back view right here and kind of see more of the blocking technique of how it pieces together.
All right, so there's a lot to this that obviously you want to execute where you need people working together.
Right.
As opposed to it's not just everybody flying off the ball, it's working together to make this happen.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's absolutely. So this all comes down to double teams. Anytime you have a double team on any scheme, so it's a double team on a run play, it's a double team on coverage on defense, it's a double team on a kickoff return. That double team is the most important part of that play, because if you commit two people to one and lose there, you've lost the play already. You've got to control that person. So this is a downhill run play we've got with multiple double teams right here. And you're going to see a lot of our guys are going to motion Caden on over here and let him and Levine work right here. And you're just going to see a series of double teams across the board right here, working to get into the end zone, okay, and make a positive drive. So as you see this right here, we're going to come off right now, and then just seeing the double teams as they take place. So you got Caden and Levine right there working hip to hip and displace that double team off the line right there. You got Kevin and Cam working hip to hip to take him and drive him backwards into the end zone.
And that's Fletcher Cox, by the way.
It is. That's not an easy task to do. You got Andrew and Shane right here going double team, and they're getting some movement crossing their face right there, so it's going to flush it down right here, where Andrew's actually going to wash one down. Shane's going to climb on up to the second level. And then you got Gatesy here, nose to nose, one-on-one, and then Eli's going to have the backer right there coming downhill, one-on-one. So it really ends up being these two working back to him for two. Eli's got him. These two for here. All right, and then these two right here for here. And we've got to get some good vertical surge to give him a chance right here. So you see the double teams moving, pushing. You can see right there all of a sudden Kevin and Cam disappear inside. Andrew and Shane. Here's Levine and Caden. They're pushing on down. And here comes, all right, Eli right there with good hat placement. And the biggest thing I want to emphasize right there is blocking leverage to making sure we have the hat placement between the man and where we're trying to go with that ball right in there, off their big boy butts right there, and get that thing in the end zone.
Yeah, and Wayne Gallman cashes it in for a Giants touchdown to respond. Fourth quarter, Giants lead at 21-17, and Coach, your defense gets a 3-and-out. So now you've got them pinned back, and now you're trying to make the special teams into a real advantage for you, and you do here.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, it goes back to complementary football. All right, we pinned them back there. Defense got 3-and-out. This section, we're going to play right here. We're up 4 points. This will set up a field goal to give us a full touchdown lead of 7 points, in the fourth quarter, which is very important to how they're going to play the rest of the game and how we can play the rest of the game as well strategically. So we get them backed up right here. It's a long enough yardage situation that we're able to run our double vice down here. We got two on the gunners on both sides. Again, they're the most important guys on the field. And like we just said, if you're putting a double team on a man, you've got to win those blocks right there. They're the most important blocks you got right here. So we're going to watch right here, and this return's designed to go out to the left down the sideline. And really based on the way their gunners are releasing, this really looks like it was a mishit by the punter or a miscommunication by Philly, because they release for a punt going to our right, and the ball ends up hanging our left, so it helps us a little bit out with the blocking. After that, we get some good blocks down the field, and Pep just did a good job of getting this thing vertical, getting about 20 yards on return and setting up good field position for the offense. So we're going to start outside in and look at the vice starting at the bottom. So as you watch right here, again, we're calling this a left return, all right, and these guys do a good job. So you got Dre right here with Jules. All right, and they're letting the gunner go away from the return direction, letting them release outside a little bit, and then they're going to play that low hit position down the way right here, which Jules does a really good job of pinning him and then boxing him in with Dre right here and creating that double team. Go back up to the top right here, all right, and we're watching, all right, the safety and the vice up top with Brennan and Ike. All right, and you watch right here. Now they got an inside release. So they're going to flip the leverage and pin him inside at this point. Knowing the ball's going outside, they're going to work to make sure he has to stay inside at this point and free up the lane for the return going where we want to do it right there. So it's a good job on the fly adjustment. We anticipated with the wind, the thing going the other way, but you got to go on the field. You got to play it out. And both sets of vice right here did a good job reacting and then setting up the situation down the field. So we'll go ahead and watch this right here. Ball comes out. It's a windy situation. It's much tougher to do than just saying, but a good catch by Pep right there. All right, you've got good separation. We got both gunners essentially out of the play from where Pep's going to go right here. We've got good leverage blocking from Ebner right there to get started. We got a good wall of blockers coming around. And here's the backside of their coverage, which we're going to say is going to become irrelevant with our wall out there and just the ability to run away from it down the sideline or get it vertical here. Now, the biggest thing we want our returners to do, number one, is catch the ball, secure possession, get back to the offense. Beyond that, what we're really looking for from Pep, all right, is just take advantage of the vertical spacing down the field, so we take care of the gunner, and he's got nearly 20 yards between him and that next wave of players right there. So let's take that and use that vertical separation and get vertical on it. And as he sticks his foot right there, he can stick it and go outside the wall down the sidelines. It's always easier to say from that bird's eye view. Pep sees a lane inside. He aborts the return. He sticks this thing inside, but he runs so hard, even though he's on the other side of the blocks right there, he's really running past where a lot of those guys can come off and make plays, and he gets a shot right there to run on through right there. So he gets 20 yards. He puts our offense in good field position. We end up coming away with 3 points on that drive. Now, on the back end, just looking at the blocking angles, you look to go ahead and create. And again, you can't go every time and just go straight block. Eventually, these guys are too good of players. They're going to thump you. They're going to pick. They're going to work a scheme to get on out. So you've got to change up throughout a game in terms of what you're looking to do. So you see on the front end right here, we're changing up the blocking angles right there with Penny and Devontae Downs. All right, so right here, we're just going to go down and around to change up their blocking angles. We'll play straight on the end right here to have a good firm edge and play safe. And then on the back side right here, we're looking for some force and some wall coming around right here. So after you force the punt and have a shot for a block and play it aggressively, we're going to wall around and be the blocker down the field. So you see Cam right there. All right, Mayo coming around right there off the block. They're now going to work and locate, and they want to find the ball and play it outside in. So you see Mayo right here getting wide. Cam's going to go ahead and expand a little bit and get some width. But you see for the wall getting ready to go outside, we've got good blocking leverage and angles going down the field and good recovery that we're in a good position with our blocks to really get it going. Pep sticks it vertical right here. We got to finish up a little bit more. All right, we got to take advantage of all the opportunities we have, but it's a good job here. Pep getting this thing, sticking it vertically, and getting 20 productive yards right there. And again,
Coach, if you could just bring it back to, as the punt is happening,
Yep.
Just a question for our audience. I think they'd be interested to see. It's a pretty unique situation for these guys up front, isn't it? Because they go from aggressors, if there's a bad snap, to maybe trying to block it, to, as you kind of illustrated, they immediately then go from attacking to blocking.
Yeah, absolutely. So you go from defense to offense pretty fast. So these guys play the immediate part of the play with the defense mentality is play for all the fakes, number one, ensure the punt, number two, and then once that ball comes off his foot, now you're playing offensive football. Now it's about blocking, leverage, spacing down the field, and eliminating penalties right there. So whether you have Cam right here looking to go ahead and block the punt, okay, or you have Carter right here spying through his man to make sure this ball's coming off the punter's foot. You got Nate over top right there like the middle linebacker checking to make sure everything's secure right there. They go from defense to offense immediately. So you can immediately see the shift in the technique of once the ball comes off the punter's foot of pressing and playing aggressive, ball's punted, and now everyone's setting their weight down right there, trying to get in that low hit position and play them down the field and avoid it. And again, these guys out here, their job's a tough job on that gunner. You think it's 2-on-1, you got to automatically eliminate it. It's easier said than done. These guys get paid money to be in this league for a reason. That's one of the most elite guys in the league forward right there, and he does a good job right there. So Ike and Brandon Williams doing this right here, that's a good job right there of being in a good position of setting this up for Pep just to get started. Then we want to fall back and fold back and block in front of the ball, never really behind the ball.
And the Giants wind up getting a field goal, open up a 7-point lead, and go on to win. Coach, we appreciate the time. Have a great Thanksgiving as well.
Appreciate it, Bob.